Flying a Spitfire is an impossible thing to describe, but it is an utterly beautifully balanced piece of design. I think the best way for me of describing this aircraft is freedom, because it talks about the emotion of flying it, and it talks about the emotion of what it stands for. Even as a 13, 14-year-old, I remember being in my local town and walking up the hill, and there was a model shop. And in that window, there was a huge Spitfire model. And I remember, my walk home, I used to then detour to go that way all the time. I got into being a pilot probably because I never grew up, and I stayed true to my cause, and that was, no, I'm a child at heart. I want to be a pilot. It's something I've always wanted to do. But that all pales into insignificance compared to the first time I flew it on my own. That was an astonishing moment, and I got airborne. I couldn't believe what I was doing. I had to tell myself to be present and sort of say, just enjoy this moment. You are airborne in a Spitfire. A hugely emotional moment to be at the controls of this aircraft, to look through the kind of upside down horseshoe of the front screen and see the 12 exhaust pipes of the Merlin engine sitting there. That was phenomenal. So the Spitfire is quite different to handle from a modern aircraft, and the main reason for that is the third wheel on a modern aeroplane is at the front. On this, it's at the back. Because this has a very big propeller, it needs to, because it's got a very big engine. You couldn't put the wheel at the front because the propeller would hit the ground. Coming back into landing is when it's the most difficult, because the tail start becoming less and less effective. And then if something goes wrong and you add too much power too quickly, at the end of your day will be not as planned. I'm very aware that almost everyone who comes to this business is going to have one of the best days of their life. Time and time again, people get out of it and say, I've waited 40 years, I've waited 50 years to do that, and it's 20 times better than I thought it was. So the longest flight expedition starts in August 2019. Start from Goodwood. We'll be heading north from there up into Scotland. But when we get into northwest Canada, Alaska, and then down into the east coast of Russia and into Japan, then we're in territory that this aircraft hasn't seen, not for 70 odd years. From India, we go into Pakistan, then up through the Middle East, Europe, and back home, back to Goodwood, looking like end of November 2019. It's fantastic that so many people are interested by this. It's fantastic. When we set out to do it, our aim was to inspire, and I think from the story that's being told so far, we're beginning to do that. I think once we get going, we'll inspire a lot more people. I'm actually really quite keen to start the journey now and get on with it.